So Roy and his friend, they runs off the porch. Now, at that moment, as they running off the porch, I'm like, do we stand here and wait? Or do we run with them? So I'm like approaching to come off the stairs. And you know what I'm saying, Marky, Raymond, we about to get ready to come out the gate. They like, no, stay right there, stay right there. They cross over the street. All right, now this is a busy street. The way that Christopher and his friend was walking is like when they get up to cross the street, it's pretty much that's to get on the expressway. So they have to cross over, right? So imagine people driving, trying to get on the expressway, and dead smack right there when you get ready to enter on, it's a big fight. You see Roy fuck up the friend. The friend was putting in work on the other guy. So I know dang on well you was not about to bring this guy to fight me. I just know that this wasn't the choice of select that you was bringing for me. Man, his Roy friend was working Christopher friend. I'm talking about working. I'm talking about beating him down. I don't even think the dude even got a lick. I don't even think he hit a shoe. I don't even think he even pulled his shirt. Okay? This looked horrible, okay, at this point. Now, imagine us sitting on the porch with a perfect view, okay, watching it from afar. So I'm laughing. So all of a sudden, the friend, you could tell that Christopher friend, he didn't want no more. He didn't want no more because he stayed on the ground like this. I'm like, look at that. All of a sudden, Roy friend come over there, help Roy. Roy over there giving it up with Christopher. But they was having a moment. But I was keeping my eye on the other guy you brung for me. Like, dude, this dude ain't stand a chance. I would have knocked his tooth out. Boom. All of a sudden, you see Roy friend hop in. They working them, beating them down. So people beeping their horn. People getting out the car. Come on, move. They like, I'm gonna call the police. You can hear them yelling. I'm like, yo, we probably should go get them. So as we getting ready to come out the gate, you see Roy and Roy friend, they break running, right? They stopping traffic. They holding traffic. Boom, break running. I see him. We run with him. Boom. So as we running, we hit this corner. Boom. Now, mind you, you remember that hill that me and Marky and Caleb used to love going down? We went that way. So I'm like, yo, that was crazy. Marky like, yo, bop. He like, Roy like, my knuckle, man, my hand, it hurt. I'm like, let me see. He like, oh, it won't stop jumping. He like, man, I think I hit him in his mouth. I'm like, yo, dang. He like, it's bleeding. He like, man, I'm trying to knock his jaw apart. So Roy on that. So the friend is still quiet. I didn't want to say nothing to the friend. The friend didn't seem like he was happy that he won the fight or nothing. It seemed like he was really there just for a mission. Okay, the friend looked at like he was there just for the mission. He didn't care that we would celebrate like, yo, y'all went in, oh, y'all went crazy. He was just like still walking. So boom, Raymond flame up the blunt. So we smoking. He like, I don't know why dude keep on trying to pull it with you. I'm like, sound like somebody we know, right? I'm like, Marky, don't it sound like somebody we know? And I'm pointing to Roy. Roy like, man, but that was different. That was business. That wasn't even my stuff. He like, but y'all cool people. He like, what y'all finna be on? I'm like, none. I'm like, we're about to blow. Like, we about to smoke. And so Raymond like, yeah, I got some, woo. I'm like, yeah, I think Shanice still got some of them. Plus, we had leftover bottles at the crib that Raymond had brown for our little get together that time. So we had a little leftovers. So I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can slide. You just looked out for me. You just put the pedal to the metal. You just worked this dude in front of the whole expressway. Like, how am I not finna have you rolling with me? Boom, we takes the long way. We smoking though. We smoking. So Roy like, man, hold on, wait. I think I still got a blunt. Now, mind you, he just got done getting out of a whole fight, a little tussle. He like, I got a blunt. He pulled it out. It was all broken. I'm like, he like, yo, we can still hit this. He like, look, we'll put this in rotation. So we walking slow to the crib. We get close. We get like right there by that candy store. Hit the corner. So as we hit the corner, boom, we see Beth coming up the opposite way. So she like, Roy, what's up? So he like, yo, what's going on, Beth? He ain't acting phony or nothing. What's going on, Beth? She like, nah, what you finna do? He like, nah, I'm finna chill with them real quick. He like, I'm gonna get up with you in a second. So she like, what? He like, I'm gonna get up with you in a second. She like, yeah, whatever. So I'm like, not she wanna hang with us. Now you wanna hang with us. But you wanted to jump me, get this boy to jump me, all that extra stuff. But now you want to kick it, whatever. So we keep walking, right? So we get done. I'm like, y'all, let's put it out. So we put it out. So I know for sure I look lit, but I don't care. I'm walking up in the crib. I'm like, y'all, I'm like the crazy thing. So Beth like, hey. I'm like, what? Beth like, y'all got it empty. She always need it empty. You don't need to smoke. You don't need to smoke if you never have a dress for the Zaza. If you don't have a dress for it, if you don't have nothing to roll it in, I advise you not to be smoking. So she keep rolling up on us, asking us, do we got empty? So Roy like, man, I only got 2. The 2 I'm finna use. And then Raymond like, yeah, I only got what I'm about to use too. I'm like, I don't got none. She like, Roddy Duddy, you know your mama, she keeps some. Now, Beth knew that because my mama used to get information from Beth sometime and brave her. Like, here, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you that. If you tell on me, because sometimes my mama used to want the tea. And Beth used to still always rat me out. Like, didn't never know how to be a friend. But I always wanted to be Beth's friend. I thought Beth was decent. A lot of people liked the Beth. She had a lot of friends. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, you could have added me to the team, but you always had beef with me. But it's all good. So I'm like, nah, I can't even go in my mama room. And I'm like, plus you ain't gonna do nothing but telling me. Marky like, I can't believe she just said that. How she know that mama got something? I'm like, I don't know. So you hear front door now opening. We're walking in. She like, all right. She like, Roy, hit me up. She dips, right? So we walking in. I'm like, man, she a lame. I'm like, oh, goof. Like, I'm calling her a goof for all that. Front door now open. Walk in. The living room light is on. And I just couldn't believe who's in the living room. This is like, I was going through deja vu. Like, nobody told me. Imagine going through the front door, just got done out of a current situation, just got done smoking, just got done having a door open, cussing, calling this girl names, and the whole time you walking in with friends that you shouldn't even be walking in with. And you walk in and dead smack, I see my grandpapa. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he was in the living room. And Shanice and Doodoo was sitting right there. So I'm looking, first off, time out. Shanice, why you didn't call me? Why you didn't say nothing? Like, why you didn't call me? I got my phone vibrating in my pocket going crazy, okay? But I'm so startled to see my grandpapa in the living room. So he said, hey, your mama wanted me to come over here and check on the house. So I'm like, he like, who's your friends? I'm like, you know Raymond. Okay. I'm like, this Roy and this Roy a friend. He like, okay, where you just coming from? I'm like, from work. He like, okay. He like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing. Nothing's wrong. He like, Marky, lift your head up. Marky over there. Marky over there with his head down like this. Joe, we had just got done smoking 2 L's while we were. Marky head down like this. He told Marky, lift your head up, Marky. He looking, he said, you know that what I do for a living, I know what's going on. And so I was like, all right, you a cop, right? Before he was a marshal and all that, he was just a cop. So I was just like, all right, you're a cop. Like, what do you mean? So he was like, Roddy Doddy. I'm like, He like, look at me. I'm like, so I'm looking. He like, your eyes is glossy. I'm like, what that mean? I didn't even know what that meant. When he said that, I'm not going to sit here and cap to you. I didn't know what that meant at all. So I'm like, glossy. He like, yeah. He like, so is your friends and so is Marky. I'm like, but what do that mean? He like, you don't know what glossy mean? So Shanice like, that mean you look like you been smoking, Roddy Doddy. I'm like, no. I'm like, I ain't been smoking. I just got off work. He like, so if I give you a drug test, it's not going to show you been smoking. So I'm like, now you're taking it an extra step, Grandpapa. I'm like, Yeah, it was going to show that I wasn't smoking. I was like, maybe because I work at the barbecue spot and, I be in the smoke area. He like, I'm going to talk to you before I leave, okay? I'm like, yes. He like, Marky. He like, yeah, Grandpa. He like, where you been? He like, I went to Rody Doty's job. He like, so you left Shanice and Doodoo to watch Kayla, even though it ain't no problem, but Caleb here, right? He like, yeah, but Rody Doty wanted me to come up there. So I'm like, dang, you just threw me out there while the bus was on green. You just got me hit. He like, Rody Doty. I'm like, yeah, it was, it was a smaller situation, at work. So I just wanted to make sure everything was good. So Marky came up there. He like, okay. He like, your mama know? I'm like, no. Now here's the deal. I just got in trouble at work being in a hot seat. So to come home thinking that I'm finna be comfortable, I really felt like I was in a hot seat. So he was like, let me talk to you, Rody Doty. I'm like, okay. So we goes downstairs in the basement. So he goes downstairs, boom, he flicked the light. So he looks at me, he like, you having company in your mom's home? I'm like, they my friends, it's not, they my friends. He like, so why you didn't tell your mom? I'm like, they weren't gonna stay long. They just came. He like, you smoking? He like, you even smell like it. I can smell it on your breath. First off, I didn't even know he can smell it on my breath. He like, you smell like you've been smoking. Like, I didn't feel the need to put Visine in my eye. I didn't feel the need to put cologne or nothing of that on because I know my mama not home. So I ain't trying to hide nothing. So he like, I need everybody to get out of here that don't live here. You understand me? I'm like, what about Shanice and Doodoo? They have to go. I'm like, yes. Okay. So I came upstairs, right? So I'm coming upstairs with, I have a mind of about to kick them out. So my grandpapa like, I just want to let everybody know that if Roshan did not ask his mom, can you guys be here? You all got to go. He walks out. He walks out. He walks out. So they like, yo, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know. I'm like, you might tell mom. And then all of a sudden you hear Kelly like, hey, where's Grandpa? I'm like, what? He like, where's Grandpa? I'm like, he just left. He like, I want to tell him to give me McDonald's. I'm finna call him. I'm like, no, don't call him. So you hit a bell. Ling, ling, ling. I'm like, oh my God, that's probably Grandpapa. Now he got a key, but I wasn't thinking at the time. I wasn't thinking. So when I opened up the door, I opened up the door very confident. And here's the deal. That black screen with that special lock, when somebody leave, you have to lock that door back. So when I opened up the door, I'm just thinking it's my grandpapa. He just left. Maybe he left some. So I'm like, man, I hope he don't tell. I'm like, I'm going to call him in a little bit. Open up the door. And when I looked, it was Christopher and his friend and another friend. And they bum rushed, like, because I opened the door like confident that it probably was my grandpapa. I was not ready. So when I opened up the door, they bum rush in. So I'm like, yo, so when Roy and Marky catch it, I hit them like, what? And they start swinging over me. So boom, I grabbed one of the guys, one of the friends of Christopher's. Boom. We got these dudes in our house. We hid my mom's wine collection. Now, she had a wine collection that as soon as you come in the door, right there, it was a wine collection. So we tussling. Boom, 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 boom. The door is open. So Caleb, he like, hey, who's that? Wait, I'll be right back. So I hear Caleb. I'm like, Caleb, stay. So dude, boom, he trying to punch me. Shanice, dude, they up. We all scrapping in my mom's living room by the door. Caleb comes down with a bat. I hear somebody say, oh, but when I looked, it was Christopher. He got whacked with the bat on his back. Boom, Roy, My grandpapa comes in. Whole time my grandpapa is sitting there. He ain't never left. This man ain't never left. He been sitting out in the car. Boom. He take the gas. And my grandpapa had on his officer suit. Okay. So that let me know when I first came in the house anyway, that he wasn't even going to be there that long. But for my mama to have him to pop up, it was like a good thing and a bad thing. Because if he wasn't there, we would have tore that house up. We would have tore that house up. Number one, I would have tore up the house trying to get him out the house. I would have tore up the house trying to get him out the house, okay? Because he was like, soon as I opened up the door, it was like, phew, I was not ready. And I would never do it again, no matter what. I don't care who just leave at my house. I'm going to always double check now, because you just never know. My grandpapa, he grabbed them. And when they looked, they like, oh man, tried to hurry up and leave. But my grandpapa had the dude by the shirt. He had Christopher by the shirt. The two friends, they dipped. His two friends dipped. Right? He like, hey, who are you? So he was like, hey, they jumped me. I'm like, what? I didn't jump you. He like, no, them two. I knew it was you because I remember that boy hanging with you. Oh. So my grandpapa, he got him like this. He said, I could take you to jail right now. My grandpapa had his whole arm on this boy's throat. He said, I could take you to jail right now. He said, you just broke and enter. He like, no, they opened the door. He like, but you came here on what, huh? And my grandpapa, he got him right there. He said, I can't breathe. And I'm looking, I'm like, Grandpapa. So he like, you ever break into somebody else? He like, I didn't break. And I'm just looking, I'm like, Grandpapa. So we all just looking, and I'm still like, Grandpapa. So Marky like, be quiet. I'm like, stop. I'm like, Grandpapa, stop. He like, again. And I saw him like slobbing out the mouth. I'm like, but I'm looking at my grandpapa like, unhand him. I felt bad for him. And he was like, his whole face looked like a tomato. My grandpapa let him go. And he was like, my grandpapa said, don't sit here and recover. Get out. I'm like, oh my God, he left out. I'm like, my grandpapa say, what was that? I'm like, I don't know. I thought that was you at the door. He like, Roshan. I'm like, Grandpapa. He like, what is going on? I'm like, I don't know. Marky like, Grandpapa, just calm down. He said, you don't tell me to calm down. He like, everybody need to go. I'm like, all right. He like, you gotta go. You gotta go. Shanice like, oh, but May know. He like, I don't care what my daughter know. Everybody gotta go. If you don't live here, you have to go right now. Or I'll make sure I'll take you out with me. So I'm just looking like, Grandpapa. I was shocked. So Shanice like, well, I gotta call my mom. He like, okay, call your mom. So she called. Boom. Everybody leaves. Then my grandpa leaves, right? My grandpa leaves. I look out the window. I check a few times. I'm like, dang. House phone goes off. Private, call her. I know that's my mom. Marky, he's in his room. I chilled in the living room. I'm like, man, I still got all these drinks. I'm like, my mom calling me. I don't want to talk to her because if I pick up the phone, I know that my grandpa they're ratting me out. Private, call her up. Hey, Ma. She like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, nothing, just in the living room. Now, first off, my mom was too calm, so I'm like, okay. My grandpapa didn't say nothing. Okay, Mom. Girl, like, he didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing, so I'm calm. I'm in the living room. She's like, okay, what Boo Man doing? Did he eat? I'm like, he in his room. I'm finna see if he hungry now. She like, okay, it's starting to get late. Feed him something. Did you bring him something from work? I'm like, oh no, I couldn't bring him nothing. I'm like, we was really busy. She said, well, try to bring him something tomorrow. I'm like, okay. She like, get a phone to Boo Man. Boom. I go upstairs. Do. He like, I'm busy. I'm like, open the door. He like, I just said I'm busy. I'm like, Mom, he say he busy. My mom said, he don't pay no. Tell Boo Man to come to the door. I'm like, hold on. So I go down the stairs. I grab the spare keys. I go to his room and I just pop the lock, right? I don't wait for him this time. I just pop the lock. He watching some stuff on his computer and it's like cartoon, if you know what I mean. And he's like, nothing on. And he like, get out of my room. And I'm like, Boo Man. And I'm like, Mom, I'm like, here, Mom want to talk to you. And I threw the house phone in his lap. He like, oh, I'm telling. So I shut the door. I'm like, oh my God. What do he be? He don't need a computer. He do not need a computer. So he talked to Mom. He hung up. I see that he kept the house phone, but I saw like the actual thing was saying that the phone was not in use. Because when the phone is in use, it's red. So I knock on the door. He like, go away. I'm like, you need to eat something. I'm like, and give me the phone. So he opened up the door. He like, here. I'm like, you told on me? He like, no. He like, next time, just knock on my door. I was busy. I'm like, yeah, you was busy. So boom, I'm chilling in the living room. I'm like, all right, let me make Boo Man something to eat. I make him something to eat. So I'm thinking, I got a lot going on in my head. So I don't like checking my phone while I'm cooking a burger and fries for Boo Man. I called Brianna back. I missed her call a few times. She pick up. She like, hello. I'm like, hey. She like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. She was like, I miss you. I'm like, you do not miss me. You say you ain't gonna talk to me no more, right? She like, no, you make me feel like that. I'm like, So Marky come upstairs. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna call you back. She like, why, your girlfriend? And I'm like, stop, I'm gonna call you back. I'm like, what's up? So Marky like, hey, shot, everybody. All right, so he doing this. That's what he on. Shot. So I knew when he came up there and did this, that's what went off in my head. All right, he ready to party. So I'm like, no. He like, yeah. So he dipped off on the side. He like, come on. So he like, I got a cup for you and I got a cup for me. So we, boom. I'm like cooking and we're going shot for shot. So I started feeling. I'm like, ooh. I was feeling it. So he like, man. He like, I wish your niece was here. I'm like, man, give me the play on that. He was like, no, she was. And he was like, I was slamming her whole mouth. Like, he was going crazy. Like, the stuff he was saying, I was like, what? Oh, my God. He like, yeah. He like, that's it. I'm like, okay. So, boom, I make Kayla burger. He like, hey, I still got a little piece if you want. I'm like, no. Because I'm like, it's going to make it swirl up. He like, no, just hit it 2 times. He go downstairs. He grab it. We go, back door now open it. We, boom. So, I get a call on my phone. I'm like, man, that's probably Brianna again. I look. Kiki. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick up, you know what I'm saying? Because I know today just been a really crazy day. So I'm like, now mind you, it's in the middle of the night. It's like 1 in the morning. I get off late. So it's like 1 in the morning. I'm like, hello. She like, hey. I'm like, why you calling me so late? She was like, I didn't think you was gonna answer the phone. I was gonna talk to your voicemail. I'm like, oh. So Marky like, so I go, boom, back door now opening. Boom, she like, hey, I want to come see you real quick. I'm like, my grandpapa, I can't handle company. He might be hanging around. She like, no, it's going to be quick. I just really need to talk to you. I'm like, all right. She like, and plus I got to work tomorrow, remember? I'm like, yeah, all right. She like, I just want to talk about the situation. I'm like, all right. I'm like, come on, just come on. So boom, I hang up. So I'm waiting in the living room by the window. So Marky's sitting in the kitchen. So he kept peeking up. He like, what you waiting on? I'm like, none of your business. I'm like, he like, what you waiting? I'm like, none of your business. So boom, I get the text like, I just parked. So boom, front door now open. And I wait for her. She pull up. She pulls in. Boom, she comes. Shut the door. Marky looking. He like, oh, all right, okay. All right, bro. I'm finna go. She like, he is something else. He like, no, you something else. You saw what happened to your boy. I'm like, Marky, shh. Because I didn't want her to know nothing. We ain't bringing that to work. We leaving that outside. So she like, what you talking about? He like, nothing. He like, I'm going to my room, bro. Enjoy. I'm like, hush. So I'm like, what's up? She like, wow, nobody's here. I'm like, nah. She like, can we talk along? I'm like, we are alone. She like, in a closed area. I'm like, all right, come on, let's go to my room. Now, mind you, I'm tipsy. So I'm like, what's up? She like, you smell like you've been drinking. I'm like, a little bit. I'm like, I had a shot. She like, can I have one? I'm like, yeah, I'll be back. I go downstairs. I didn't pour a shot. I poured her a little cup. I come up on here. She was like, you know I don't like Christopher, right? I'm like, I don't know. Now, mind you, she older than me, right? I'm just like, you probably got a whole bunch of people in line. They picking a number, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, you was going to this dude party. So I was like, man, I don't know. It seemed like he like you a lot. I'm like, you got his phone number? She like, yeah, we got each other numbers. So I'm like, y'all texting? She like, no. I'm like, so what you get his number for? I'm like, it doesn't even matter. I'm like, as long as we cool, that's all that matter. She like, but I want to be more than cool. So she took another sip. She put it down. I'm like, we can't be cool. I'm like, and what's up? Why you kiss me at that prep table? She like, buku, buku. So I'm sitting there like, what are you doing? She, buku. She like, what it look like I'm doing? So she start unbuttoning her shirt.